Lubao City is located in the southwestern part of Pampanga. It is divided into 44 barangay and has a land area of 155.77 square kilometers. The major problem of the city is the absence of commercial establishments due to flooding. Most of the tilapia farmers in Lubao were operating a medium-scale fish pond at a semi-intensive stocking density.
Our proposed project also adopts a food production system which is aquaponics. This is a process wherein the aquaculture is integrated with hydroponics. The nutrient-rich aquaculture water is fed to the hydroponic grown plant, involving nutrifying bacteria for converting ammonia into nitrates.
Our proposed design solution is an aquacenter park that uses the concept of sponge city design, wherein rainwater will be absorbed and naturally filtered by the soil. This rainwater will be clean that reduces dangerous and polluted runoff.
It will provide a lot of benefits such as having more clean and accessible water resources for the city by increasing the volume of naturally filtered stormwater. It can also reduce the flood risk and lower the burdens of drainage systems.
This will allow Lubao City to have greener, healthier, and enriched biodiversity. On top of that, this proposal aims to nurture and progress Lubao City.
Santa Rita is a fourth-class municipality in the province of Pampanga, 79 kilometers away from Manila. It is famous for its Torrons de Casoy, several ancestral churches, and is mostly a farming community. It is divided into 10 barangays. Dila and San Basilio are two of the largest, while San Vicente and San Agustin are two of the smallest. One of the problems of Santa Rita, Pampanga is flooding, and the main causes are deforestation, illegal dump sites or improper waste disposal, and leakage of the Pampanga River basin during intense rains and typhoon. Another problem is the agriculture of Santa Rita. First, the effects of the flooding damaged the crop products where Santa Rita was listed with the most damaged rice crops in Pampanga. Next is the low crop pricing with the local farmers. So how would architecture be able to combat flooding? Here are 6 protective measures that could relieve harm exhibiting contrast approaches, as well as methods for utilizing flood protections as agents for social change and urban recovery that therefore be a solution for the problem. In accordance with that, there are proposed architectural solutions. First is making a place of refuge and feasible option for pedestrians and bikers motivated to the architecture of Iloilo Esplanade. Next is setting up of concrete and developed riverside walkways for pedestrians access that highlights the perspective of the river, similar from the Japanese cherry blossom riverside walkways architecture. Ultimately, a potential solution is to make a water reservoir that serves as a water storage for irrigation system based on regional reservoir renovation project that is utilized all year round. The proposed solution would not only lessen the flooding in the city, but also to neighboring lowland cities such as Guagua and Santo Tomas. In contribution to the Metro Clark, the proposed solution would prevent severe natural calamities to both upland and lowland cities, including all neighboring regions too. The solution would provide several benefits such as improving their daily lives, boosting the agriculture level, and its economic growth. It also includes the community's safety and health.
Santo Tomas is a landlocked municipality which is located in a low-lying location in the coastal province of Pampanga. It is the smallest and youngest municipality, and its land use is mainly for agriculture and aquaculture.
Santo Tomas, Pampanga is one of the flood-prone areas in the province due to its low-lying location at the vicinity of the Pampanga Bay. Flooding causes damages to infrastructure, crops, livestock, and agricultural production. It also causes the relocation of people in affected areas and outbreak of diseases. Biodiversity loss and ecosystem change, which has a negative effect on the environment, is also an outcome of this flooding issue.
The proposed solution to the flooding issue is a linear park that will be located adjacent to Taong River in Santo Tomas, Pampanga. It will be using climate tiles to help reduce flooding. The water that is drained from the park will flow to the storage tanks underneath the park, and it will flow to the agricultural fields through the built-in irrigation system. Public information boards will be posted along the entire park to educate residents on the area. The goal of the project is to first increase the safety of the area by managing stormwater, but then also to encourage culture, community, and the arts.
So our design was inspired by the Bangkok's Chulalongkorn Centenary Park, So the concept of this is when it rains, the water filters down into large storage tanks, and this water could be used to irrigate the park in the dry season. There's also a presence of retention ponds. So overall, this linear park could help to offset the urban heat island effect.
The proposed solution will be a linear network for biodiversity by managing flora and fauna. It provides flood management that can help regulate water flow in the city. The linear park will also create quality spaces that will increase people's interest in the area and help improve the tourism of Pampanga.
Mexico is a landlocked municipality in the coastal province of Pampanga. According to folk etymology, this was derived from the name Masico or Macasico, which the Spaniards spelled as Mexico. There are various claims that its name was derived from chico trees and elbow-shaped bend rivers, however none of these were proven. In the end, Mexico is believed to be a common mispronunciation by the locals. Mexico is also dependent on agriculture for their income and economy, such as fruits and vegetables, particularly rice, corn, and mangoes.
Mexico Pampanga is located between the cities of San Fernando and Santa Ana. The city is accessible through NLEX and the Jose Abad Santos Avenue, with a near access to the proposed Malolos-Clark Railway. Notable landmarks are the Lakeshore, San Jose Parish Church, Santo Domingo Parish Church, and San Jose Matulid Church.
80% of the land in Mexico are subjected for agricultural utilization, rice being its primary income and crop, hence majority of its cultivated lands are rice fields. It is therefore vital to have more irrigation facilities to further boost agricultural production and aid the farmers in their livelihood. One of the major problems in Mexico Pampanga is flooding of its lower parts, specifically San Nicolas, San Lorenzo, and San Jose.
So for our solution is aquaponics. It is best described as a combination of aquaculture and hydroponics in a singular system. Waste produced by farm fish or other aquatic creatures are used to supply nutrients for grown plants. This system utilizes various natural and organic elements within the plants and fish in a symbiotic growth fashion.
Aquaponics has several benefits, such as the ability to grow local and nutrient-rich agricultural products all year round, an eco-friendly and energy-efficient system, the use of limited space for its establishment, affordable and exclusive solution to farming, and sustainable locally sourced fresh seafood.
San Fernando City is the provincial capital of Pampanga. It is under the large city category with an estimated population of 305,290. All its barangays are classified as urban, hence one of the most evident issues in the city is regarding transportation. The strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis for San Fernando, Pampanga. Our group classified the existing road conditions of San Fernando into 5 categories, namely as pedestrian accessibility, traffic accessibility, safety and security, streetscape and landscape, and supplementary issues. The most common issues that we have observed are the obstructions on the streets because of on-street parking, garbages, and unnecessary equipments. We have also observed the lack of essential spaces such as pedestrian crossings, unorganized loading and unloading areas, bike lanes, ample street lights, and appropriate street signages. Looking in general, San Fernando's streetscape is very unsustainable too. To address these issues, we propose a new layout for San Fernando's streetscape which has single-side parallel parking, loading and unloading bays, high-contrast crosswalks for accessibility, installment of street lights, surveillance systems and waste receptacles, application of bioswales and power-generating pavements for sustainability, as well as pocket parks for gathering spaces is also necessary. The map shows the arterial roads where the proposed solutions will be implemented. It features the most commercialized and populated areas, the areas that need the most improvement in San Fernando. The following shows the contribution that San Fernando City will benefit from the proposal for a walkable community.
Angeles City is transitioned into a transport-oriented development city. Main problem is the traffic congestion and limited walkability because of insufficient pedestrian facilities, loading and unloading zones, roadsides, and too many established intersections. Human-centered architecture is an approach that goes hand in hand with the people and the building in consideration. Solution A: an integrated transportation terminal, or TOD, to have a more organized transportation system and provide easement for travel. With TOD, its benefits for Angeles City is better mobility, reduced car traffic, reduced household spending on transportation, healthier lifestyle, lower pollution, higher foot traffic for commercial businesses, and decreased suburban sprawl. Our second solution is incorporation of walkability for development of an existing street. Sustainable approach to make the city bike friendly. It is a way to persuade people to walk around the city, reducing vehicular use. Six benefits of bike lanes include fewer injuries, added space to roadway, improved traffic flow, safe sidewalks, better for the environment, and health benefits. Our proposed site is the Santa Trinidad Angeles, Pampanga because it is dense, multiple road network, and for expansion. Thank you for listening. These solutions will provide Angeles City the point city it deserves.
Welcome to Mabalacat City, Pampanga, home to the Clark International Airport and roughly most of the Clark Freeport Zone. It is a third-class component city and ranks 4th in terms of land area in Pampanga. Due to its strategic location, it serves as the primary transportation access to Manila, Angeles City, and New Clark City.
Although Mabalacat City contains major transportation hubs, it still lacks an efficient urban mobility system that will allow people to easily move from within and outside the city. Because of this, it hinders the city from achieving a transit-oriented development that will provide its people a more meaningful experience when traveling.
An interlinkage that will connect the three major transportation hubs in Mabalacat is proposed to address the inefficiency in urban mobility. The interlinkage will serve as an active connection, bringing people and places together to create a more responsive city for Mabalacat. Aside from the route itself, developing the vicinity of the interlinkage will be vital in the success of the proposal.
By prioritizing the improvement around the key transport hubs and their destinations, it will significantly increase the accessibility and activity of the city. This will be done by enhancing walkability, providing proper vehicular access and pedestrian prioritization, integrating transport systems, and establishing the city's visual image.
With Mabalacat City acting as one of the primary cities in Pampanga, establishing an efficient public transport and sustainable urban mobility will improve the quality of experience within the city. The proposed Mabalacat City interlinkage will not just connect the city as a whole, but will also serve as a bridge for other cities in Pampanga.
Capas is included in the MetroClark project of the government with the facilities used during the SEA Games 2019. At present, this is used as part of the NCC, which is the confluence of the industry and agriculture. With existing infrastructure and favorable location, connectivity to Manila, and the rest of the Philippines, NCC is poised to become the next big metropolis.
Since the development of the new Clark City project will take place in the area, the current problem to think of is how to balance the expected urban development in its neighboring areas and at the same time maintain Capas' identity as an agricultural land.
So one of the solutions that we came up with is the point-to-point bus system. It aims to connect the developing New Clark City to different cluster areas in Capas Tarlac.
The P2P route in Capas will run across the 4 community clustered areas and the New Clark City. The route adjoins the New Clark City SCTEX access road for faster P2P schedule. The 4 cluster areas and NCC will have corresponding P2P transport stations that will serve as the major node for this P2P system. These stations will be situated adjacent to O'Donnell Road and MacArthur Highway. Within the New Clark City, the stations are situated in between the Sports Hub and Institutional Block, Public World Mall, and near the CB Corridor.
The following are some concepts for Campus City's future development. The most prominent solutions are accessibility and self-sufficiency. A self-sustaining city is highly achievable by dividing the areas into clusters while keeping the main functions of a community such as commercial spaces, the healthcare, and also the government institutions within a 10 to 15-minute walking distance from the residential clusters. Vertical housing is also ideal for the city's anticipated population growth.
Magalang is located in the northern portion of Pampanga and is bounded by Mount Arayat on its east. Magalang is known to be an agriculture-driven municipality. They are known for their crop production, which are mainly corn, sugarcane, and rice grain crops. At present, Magalang is going through a process of transformation as it maintains its distinctive role of being the food basket of Pampanga. Because of their rich agricultural background, there is a need to innovate and incorporate both the housing and agricultural sectors in Magalang in order to achieve the goal of having an enhanced development in Magalang's agricultural production.
Site is typically located in Barangay San Agustin. The critical facilities are San Pablo Elementary School, Ayala Elementary School, San Agustin Barangay Health Station, and 2 road networks, which are Jose Abad Santos Avenue and Right Magalang Mabalacat Road.
In terms of hazard assessment, site is located 37.7 kilometers away from Mount Pinatubo, making it safe from the heart. Site is prone to ashfall. For seismic hazard, site is safe from earthquake-induced landslide, tsunami, and ground rupture as it is approximately 30.7 kilometers from PNP. The site is prone to ground shaking in an earthquake and at least susceptibility to flooding with less than 0.5 meters flood height or less than 1 day flooding in it safe from storm surge.
For our project proposal, we are proposing an agri-hood community wherein the residential neighborhood is especially designed to integrate farming or growing edible crops that are available to the residents of the community. For its benefits, agri-hoods actively work to educate their current residents and future generations. Moreover, agri-hoods carve out a holistic approach to health. Then lastly, agri-hoods encourage locals from surrounding communities to participate in the agricultural experience.
So, since the site it will be located near a university that has expertise in the field of agriculture, there will be students who gain experience in the field, and it also permits them to conduct researches related to crop production. More importantly, having an agri-hood will also promote Magalang's agriculture system. So this is the sample design or model for our agri-hood. So the application of the agri-hood solution to the site includes the use of local materials for the neighboring residential buildings. Adjacent to each residential building is a large plot of land for crop production. The solution addresses Magalang's issue is that the self-sufficient way of living provided by the agri-hood community concept provides opportunities for local farmers, and it will also emphasize the municipality's vision to become the fruit basket of Pampanga.
With an area of 31,400 hectares, Porac is the largest town in Pampanga, bounded by Mount Pinatubo in the west. Identified as an ecotourism destination, Sapang Uwak will be the site of the project.
Due to eruption, housing and livelihood problems for indigenous people has been identified as the main issue.
Marso 1991, unang nagpakita ng palatandaan ng muling pagkising ng Mount Pinatubo. 600 taon na mula nang uli itong pumutok.
The project aims to create a community designed to coexist within the nature of Sapang Wak that will become an income-generating tourist destination and housing for indigenous people.
First, a socialized housing community where they can permanently stay and enrich their agriculture while still providing a safety net without worrying that they will lose their homes again. They shall improve their employment, education, health, and overall way of living.
Second, an ecotourism that shall balance the opportunities of urban and natural development. It will also allow proper guardianship of the natural sites and encourage conservation among the locals, the tourists, and the government.
Third is to improve connectivity within the municipality by making roads and connect them to essential parts of the city where everyone can have ease of transport. Since housing and livelihood is the main issue of Porac, providing housing, utilizing the natural environment, and improving their connectivity will really help the municipality's overall social, commercial, and economic civic activity.
No ITA left behind.
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 No ITA left behind.